Hi everyone, Raisa, Shafira, Affandi here. In this module, we'll explore haikus and nature. We'll see how just a few words can capture the beauty found in the natural world. Let's get started. The learning objectives of this module are 1. To understand the characteristics of the haiku form, and 2. To be able to think critically about how the haiku form helps express ideas about nature. So, what is a haiku? A haiku is a type of poetry originating in Japan. It has 17 syllables in 3 lines of 5, 7, and 5, and traditionally evokes images of the natural world. Haikus usually have contrasting images separated by a kireji, or cutting word, like splash. For example, in this haiku called The Old Pond by Matsuo Basho, an old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash, silence again. So the contrasting images in this poem are the silence of the pond and the splash when the frog jumps. Haikus focus on a brief moment in time, juxtaposing 2 images. Because of this, they are usually very sensory. So let's look at this example of A Poppy Blooms by Katsushika Hokusai. I write, erase, rewrite, erase again, and then a poppy blooms. So here, the 2 images are that of writing and rewriting and a poppy blooming. The poem paints these 2 images in your mind and lets you ponder the relationship between them. Haikus are very short, so the poet has to select only the bare essentials for their poem, making every word count. Let's look at the poem on the right. What does this haiku manage to say and imply in only 17 syllables? A World of Dew by Kobayashi Isa. A world of dew, and within every dewdrop, a world of struggle. So here, a world of dew contains so many more worlds within each dewdrop. For me personally, it brings attention to the infinite nature of worlds, how there's so much more going on inside everything. You can also see the repetition of a world of dew, a world of struggle, and wonder what it means for elements of nature to contain struggle. So there's lots to ponder in just these 17 syllables. Now, haikus did originate from Japan, and there are 4 main masters of haiku there whose poems have partly appeared in the slides before. But this literary form from Japan also influenced poetry elsewhere, such as in English literature. Poet Ezra Pound was very inspired by the haiku form. So in this poem, In a Station of the Metro, there's the juxtaposition of 2 images, the brief duration and the sensory world of haikus. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. It's very short, there's 2 images, and it's also very sensory. Other English poets have adapted the haiku for other themes like love and sorrow, so not always talking about nature anymore. Some also reduce the number of syllables to adjust to the longer words of the English language. For example, Jack Kerouac's The Taste of Rain goes, the taste of rain. Why kneel? Very short and very condensed. Now, because haikus are so sensory and visual, painting pictures in your mind, it makes a lot of sense that people were inspired to make visual art based on them. Lots of haiku collections are now illustrated, further immersing the reader in the contemplation of nature and life. If you like looking at art and photography as well as reading, these kinds of collections could be for you. Now, let's review what we've learned about haikus. A haiku is a Japanese poem with 17 syllables in 3 lines of 5, 7, and 5 syllables. Traditionally, haikus evoke images of the natural world. They usually have contrasting images separated by a kireji or cutting word, and they often focus on a brief moment in time in which they juxtapose only two images. They are therefore very sensory. Because they're so short, every word counts. And that's a wrap. Sometimes the smallest poems hold the biggest feelings. See you in the next session.